Hi everyone, welcome again to my channel. Today I have another event recap video for you guys. I'm taking you with me to Razor Reel, which was a film fest slash fantasy event hosted in Bruges. But before we dive into the vibe of the event, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome to Quillscene. My name is Megan. If you like things that have to do with writing, with reading, with books, with the writer's life, with Wicca, with Harry Potter, with fantasy, with anything geeky really, then you're in the right place. Make sure to click on the magical subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell, because on that way you'll always get a notification whenever I upload a new video. But yeah, time for Razor Reel 2022. So what is Razor Reel? Razor Reel was actually a new event for us as the writers of the Writers Collective. And that's for the reason that Razor Reel on its own has been around for a few years now, if I'm not mistaken. But their focus was, and their profile still is, film fest. So they focused on movies, and I think even mostly short movies, like with indie producers and stuff like that. But in the 2022 edition, they wanted to add another addition to their film fest, so that it wouldn't be only film. And that's when they decided to add like a fantasy event to it. We didn't really know what to expect. We knew that the event itself, both the film fest as the fantasy event, would be hosted at a school. So in school buildings and stuff like that. So we didn't really know how much room there would be, or how many booths there would be. So that was like, you know, we'll see when we show up. We also didn't know if it would only be fantasy books, because of course we as the Writers Collective went with our books and our mead and our together with my mom I make like potions and witch balls and stuff like that, so magical creativeness I will call them. So that was our booth, but we didn't know what other booths there would be, because everything fantasy was allowed and was welcome. So we were really curious about that, but we did know that because the film fest was hosted in the same school, so everything about the film fest was in the buildings of the school. And the event, the fantasy event also, the fantasy market, that it was complimentary, so that the visitors from the film fest would be able to visit the fantasy fair and the other way around. So the event itself, well, the film fest itself was I think Friday, Saturday and Sunday, but the fantasy market was only on Sunday the 30th of October, so right before Halloween. It was open from 10 till 6 p.m. Well, from 10 in the morning till 6 in the afternoon / evening. But we could go set up our booth from 7:30 in the morning. For us it was like really early to get up as usual, because Bruges is for us with traffic and everything about an hour and a half away. So yeah, we were up and going really early. When we arrived, we discovered that the building was actually a really big building, and that the room where our fantasy market was hosted was also quite spacious. Our booth was almost like in the middle of the room. I think it was like some sort of cafeteria when school would be busy, because there was like a little bar thingy where you could get drinks. But so our booth was in the middle of the room. We had quite a big booth because we had, I think, about 10 writers, and then of course the mead and the creative, witchy creativeness from my mom and me. But there were also booths with other books, of course, because Goddamn Publishing also had a booth, Hamley Books also had a booth, and the Brugse Boekhandel also had a booth. But there were also people with their own fantasy art that they came to present to the people. And also a few vendors of geeky merchandise, which was very cool. I tried to walk around a little bit, mostly to film, but most of the time I stayed at our booth for few reasons. One, I was very tired that day because, of course, as I said, it was a very early start for us. Plus, I was still quite tired from the events before Razor Reel. Next to that, there were also a lot of people that passed by our booth, that came to talk to us, that wanted to know more about our stories, and of course people that bought our books. So there wasn't actually much time to walk around, but I tried when there was a little bit of, you know, slow down with the people. But for the most part, I stayed at our big square in the middle. And yes, we, as I said, we had quite a big booth because we had about, I think, 10 writers. There was me, Dimitri Balcaen, Mathias Maho, Petra Doom, Jelmer Panman from Helden, Papier, or Heroes on Paper, who writes his own D&D manuals. We had Stewart, Elizabeth Kayland was there, Nick de Meersman, Werner Peeters, and Maja Vermeulen. And I think I mentioned them all by then. Yes, quick glance at my little paper. Yes, I got them all. Then, of course, next to me there was also like a little corner where my mom had our witchy creative thingies displayed. So the potions we made, the witch balls we made, stuff like that. And then on the corner at the other side was the meet and read corner, where Nele and Lynn from Lucky Duckling presented our book Mead. So it's like honey wine, actually, that is linked to our books. It's a little project that we started together with Lucky Duckling, and Nele and Lynn presented the mead to the people that wanted to try and maybe even buy a bottle if they were interested. Of course, on the few times that I was walking around, I couldn't resist to take a look at the other booths and the products they sold. And at the Brugse boekhandel, I was browsing their quite big collection of fantasy books. And suddenly my eye caught two gorgeous books that are actually from the same series. And I'm going to show you them. So the first one is this one. It are Dutch books, but they are fully illustrated. And this one is called The Magical World of Fairies. So we have beautiful illustrations on the front. We have golden foiling, same on the back. And inside we actually have, it's actually a collection of fairy stories and fairy figures from over the entire world. So for example, here we have the kappas from Japan, we have the tree parson, we have fairy plants, also the Midsummer Night Dream characters from Shakespeare are in there, stuff like that. It's a beautiful book. I fell in love with the beautiful illustrations. I'm probably going to show you, you'll probably see more in a close-up if I'm not already added that one. And I just fell in love with this book. But then I also saw that there was another one which pretty much looked the same but was very different, because this one is one from the same series, only this one has a red cover. We again have beautiful drawings and golden foil also on the back. And this one is The Magical World of Witches, and it's the same on the inside. So again, beautiful drawings, and then stories and stories behind known characters related to witches. from over the entire world. For example, Circe from, which is like the witch, aside from Hecate, who is the goddess of witchcraft. But Circe, of course, is one of the most known, here we have her, Circe, known witches in Greek mythology, but also like Baba Yaga, who lives in the house with the chicken legs, stuff like that. And I just love books like this, because they're not only pretty to add to your bookshelves, but as a writer, they are a source of inspiration, also of research. So yeah, they weren't the cheapest ones. I think they cost around 25 euros a piece, but I just fell in love with them and I needed them. And I was very good because those were the only two things that I bought at Razor Reel. So, and it was for my writing career, so Mom couldn't complain, even though she rolled with her eyes when she saw me coming back home, well, back to the booth with the books, but still. And that was it already for Razor Reel. As usual, I will put like a little list overview in the description box of all the authors that were present at our booth, along with if their books are only in Dutch or also in English, so that in case you're interested in the stories and in the books, you can easily look them up. If you like this video, please leave a comment and leave a thumbs up, because more than you know. And hopefully I see you guys soon for another bookish, magical, probably event video. Bye!